Hello, welcome to Tom's Cubes and Games, and a very quick look at getting started with your new PowerKiddy RGB30. Now hopefully yours has arrived in a nice clean good condition box. Mine actually has this gross sticker bit left. So we have the console, power cable and instructions, which aren't that good, but then better than nothing. I strongly recommend keeping all your packaging. Now if you've got nothing to store it in, the original packaging is perfect. That will keep your screen nice and clean, and to repack it, I put it back in the bag as well. But if you couldn't be bothered, that's fine, just like that, and that'll keep it nice and clean. This cover is very handy to be there while you're poking around with SD cards or whatever, because it stops your hand going on the screen. So while you're messing around with your cards, that helps to keep the screen clean. Now your best friend with a screen is a microfiber lens cloth and screen wipes. They're a single use. I wouldn't ever reuse them or dampen to reuse, because once they're dirty you're just wiping stuff back on the screen. So I like to use one side, clean the screen gently, and then I use the same side just to wipe down the case, and then I use the other side to wipe that, and that you'll better keep that clean and in top condition for years if you just put that back on when you're finished using it. If you don't want to put it back in the box, I know it doesn't look great, but it will last for years in top condition. Just pop it in a sandwich bag or something. If you're lucky enough to have an awesome case, you can never have too many lens wipes. It goes in nice and easy. When closing it, it should close nice and easily. If you feel pressure, stop and go back and start again. You don't want to compress anything. And to get it out, now your RGB30 comes with a 2 amp 5 volt charging cable. Wattage is volts times amps, so 2 times 5 is 10 watts. It charges only through the USB labelled port, not the OTG. I'm just going to pop that in my USB charger. We've got a red light that shows it's charging. Right, let's switch it on. Green light now because it's coming on. Right, let's navigate up and down through the different systems. The red light is still showing that it's charging. If it weren't, then we can just disconnect it and reconnect it. And you saw the LEDs changing colour there. Suppose we wish to play whatever system. Let's play Game Boy Advance, say. So I'll press A to choose, or B to go back. Choose a different system, say Game Boy Color, press A to choose, and then up and down the game list. If I want to go back, I can press B. If I want to shut down now, I press select and then choose shut down. You can see after shutdown it's stopped charging. So you can see sometimes if it's in the middle of charging when you shut down or start up, you have to disconnect and reconnect the power cable. Now it's come back on. Right, let's restart. So that's the start power button. You saw the LED go green, so it's booting up again. When we're in this top menu, if we wish to change the music, we just press the left thumb, which is L3, and it'll play a random track, same one again. Sonic, Donkey Kong Country. Alright, let's play a game. So let's play a Game Boy Color. Oh, I don't fancy looking through this list for Zelda, so I'll press select and filter games by text. Choose with A. I'll look for any game with Zelda in the title. And in Game Boy Color, let's come up with those three. Now, some of the games in Japanese titles are Japanese language, but some of them are not. Some of them are English language. For example, this one. Just press A to start. Now don't worry about this decoration, this on the border. If you don't like that, there's ways to get rid of that. We'll look at that another time. This is just a brief introduction. Now, select is the main hotkey. So if I keep my thumb on select, and then I can press other buttons for various hotkey functions. So to quit the game, I keep my thumb on select and then double press start to quit the game. Let's try Zelda DX. At the moment, it's got filters on it to make it look like the old LCD. Again, if you don't like that, there's ways to adjust it whatever way you like it. Now, remember, select is your main hotkey. If I press select, the various options come up. So, for example, select and R2 is fast forward. And then to resume regular speed, select R2 again, and it resumes regular speed. Press select and press exit. It brings up the RetroArch back-end menu. It's already in a bottom menu, the quick menu. I can just press A to resume, and there are loads of other options. If I press B now to go back, it's not going to go back to the game. It's going to go back up the menu. So that's the main menu now. And if I want to go back to it as we were, I choose quick menu. And we're exactly as we were, I can choose resume. And while we're here, you can save and load and so on. Let's have a quick look at other shortcuts. So select and A is pause. That's the emulator pausing everything. That's not the game's internal pause. To resume, I just do this. So press the button again, select an A. If I press start, that's just normal function within the game. But if I press select and start, then that's going to be the quit the game when I double tap it. Now, let's say, oh, I've had enough of my Zelda. Let's go back to the main game list. So I press select, reset filter. We're back to the list. I'll press B to go up to the top menu again. Let's try a different system. Let's try a Mega Drive game. Alright, let's see what happens if I do select and B. That took a screenshot. Select and Y brings up frame counter, FPS, that's basically 60. Select and Y to get rid of the frame counter. Let's quit back to the main menu. So select and double tap start. Now those hotkey functions work for the vast majority of systems. For a few of the upper end systems, they have their own unique controls. There's not many of them, but for example Nintendo DS has a standalone emulator, and I think Sony PSP has a different emulator, a standalone rather. Where's what am I looking for? I must have gone past it. DS, there we go. So let's start up first title just to have a quick look. Now if I press start and X, no, I don't get the menu. Start and Y, I don't get a frame counter. Start and B, I don't get a screenshot. Start and A, I don't get a pause. That's because it's a special standalone emulator, drastic. This particular one, you L3 and R3 at the same time. Click those analog sticks at the same time, and then you've got the menu, which is impossibly small, but the bottom option is quit. Right, let's press B to go back up. And let's shut down. Let's unplug for now from the charger. Now, I'll just put that on to help keep it clean. If you get a brand new one from the factory, chances are you're gonna have like a fairly unreliable card in there. Now I've had game cards with the RGB30 like that and like that, but I sincerely recommend you back up all of your games onto a hard drive or a memory stick or something, and then copy them onto a brand like SanDisk, Kingston, or UK bought Kioxia. I get Kioxia from Asda. They're a very good brand. They're made in Japan. And Kioxia have heritage from Mitsubishi. They're a top brand. SanDisk are a top American brand. They help create the TF cards along with Toshiba, so they're very reliable. And Kingston are one of the oldest heritage memory manufacturers there are. So Kingston, Kioxia or SanDisk are my recommendations, or Integral from UK. Now the OS card that comes with the RGB30 says Kioxia on it, but I'm fairly sure that's not a genuine Kioxia like you would purchase in Asda. I recommend only using plastic or wood near your case. So I use a lollipop stick as a... So let's get rid of the OS card that came with the RGB30, and let's pop in the latest version of Gelos, and I'll do a future video showing you how to do that. And I've got my games on a SanDisk. Oh, better take out the other one. So sorry, I didn't make that clear. Game goes, it is labelled TF game, and the operating system goes, it is labelled TF OS. And just to confirm, only charge through the USB port, and OTG we'll look at another time. That's for connecting your controllers, keyboard, mice, hubs and so on. Alright, so let's turn that baby back on. Now this is a fresh flash of the operating system, latest version, so it's going to initialize now. It takes a minute or two to initialize. Now I've done this a few times now for buyers, and I wanted to show you this because this is a consistent experience, or as consistent as something fairly inconsistent can be. Right, I'll fast forward a little bit. You'll see when it's done initializing, and you'll hear that music starts to play, but there's no image. This is the latest version of Gelos, version 20231012. Well, so much for fast forwarding. Now this is the first time this has happened on a new installation. I can actually see it. So the screensaver is on, but pressing the buttons doesn't seem to do anything about that screensaver. So what I've done to get around this is press sleep, which is the power button to put it to sleep. Wait 3 seconds roughly, and then turn it back on. And Bob's your uncle. And the latest version of Gelos without any modifications, in my humble opinion, is so superior to as it comes from the factory. Right, well, I hope you found that useful, and I shall be doing further guides, including, let's turn that down, they're back to front. Yeah, I shall be doing further guides, including charging via a hub, connecting hubs, and various types of thing to do with OTG connectivity. Right, thank you for watching.